All right, we welcome on to the closing section, and I want to say welcome, welcome, welcome. We have a lot of persons joining us from every part of West Africa. I'd love to welcome them. We have Abiodun Ojo saying greetings from here in Nigeria. And no Paul saying greetings from Nigeria, Ondo State. We have Ogunleye saying hello from Ogun State. Yeah. We have Olufunke from Ibadan. We have someone from Nairobi, Kenya. That's East Africa. Samuel Ngaga. Yeah, we have Sharon. She is joining us from Sharon, joining us from Yaoundé, Cameroon. We have Olumide Obey from Akure. Abasi Ofon Udo is joining us from Ibadan. And we have Ta Calvino from Yaoundé, Cameroon. I believe that there are others that are here on the call that haven't really come to the chat. Yeah, but I want to use this opportunity to really welcome us all. Welcome us all. So today we're going to have an interesting session, like I would like to describe it as, because we'll be having a review of everything we've actually learned. And aside from that, we will also be getting your own feedback. You're going to share with us how interesting and how challenging it has been for you so far. What the learning frenzy really looks to you. What new things have you really grasped for yourself? What challenge do you actually think that you will be encountering, and so on. So on this note, I want to welcome everybody. Please, if it's just joining us, you could still go to the chat and tell us where you're joining us from. Christina is from Enugu, Nigeria. We have Jafar Usani from Turkey. Wow, that's quite far. We have Prince Will from Enugu. We have Ojoye Lutife from Ogun State. So not too sure. Yeah, Daud, your hands are up. Do you have a question? Please, if you have a question, please just go to the chat and kindly write those things out. All right. Now we have some persons from northern Nigeria towards the Sahara. We have Dr. Chinenye from Madam Vodio University. In Shokoto. Wow, that's great. Please tell me if you can actually see my slide moving. Can you see my slide? Did it actually change?
Yes, we can.
Oh, great.
It didn't change.
At this point, okay, it's changed, right?
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So, hello, everybody. My name is Hanfolua Tutu. I am a molecular biology and genetics expert, graduated from the Penza State University in Russia. I'm based in Russia. I have a bachelor's for population genetics. I'm a faculty of some academy. I work with the Federal Research Center of Translational Medicine in Siberia, Novosibirsk in Russia. I am a blood-borne pathogen expert, certified expert, and I am an enthusiast of data analytics, data science, big data, biomedical data science. My research interest cuts across bioinformatics education, metagenomic, genome-wide associated studies, cancer biology, and wastewater genetics, and so on. So I will be your moderator for today's session. I want to welcome everyone that are just joining us. Please, if you're joining us, you can just go to the chat and please do share. So far, so good. This workshop training program has actually been a focused learning with the objective to train us and usher us into bioinformatics. So at this point, like we said, the program is designed to highlight the role of big omics data that is shaping the modern biomedical innovation, where biomolecular data is used. So this workshop program has actually been an introduction into the field of bioinformatics, which is the intersection of informatics and biology. So real quick, before I continue, I want you to go to the general chat on the cohort chat, and also on the general chat. I want you to go there and write that you have joined the session, that you have joined the live session. So I just want you to go straight quickly on your chat and say that quickly. All right. So do that on the quad chat, do that on the general chat. Yeah, I've just seen Dr. Jafaru. Retain. Yeah. Great. Getting busy. Okay, Calvino has also written. Okay, P. Davis. Mohammed is also writing. Wow. So lovely to actually Bolo is also written. All right. Great. I believe that would help to get the attentions of others. Yes, if you have questions from now, I believe we can start writing our questions down. Because we're also going to try to interface with you, interact with you to know what the challenge actually really look like for you practically. So if you already have some questions, please just feel free to do that and start writing it down on the chat. I believe someone is just going to go there and compile it all for us. Okay, I saw that Dahuda Blessing and some other persons told that, okay, they've joined the chat section. Okay, no, I meant the instruction I actually gave you was for you to go on WhatsApp and share that you've joined the live session on WhatsApp. So that was the instruction. So yeah, thank you very much for the feedback. I'm quite encouraged. Yes, I've just seen Dr. Mary writing on the chat. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm going to stop presenting for just 1 second and I'm going to start presenting again. Sorry for that break in transmission. Okay, Christina just wrote, I've joined the live section. That's great. Okay. All right. I can see how more persons are joining the live sections. Dr. How you doing, Michael? Lovely to have you here. Okay, that's a very, very lovely question, Sharon from Cameroon. So I'm going to go back now to share my screen. Please confirm when you can actually see it. Okay, so please, I want to call on one of our admins to go to the main chat and to the quad chat to also to start sharing the feedback form, invite to give feedback. Yeah. So it'd be lovely to actually do that. Okay, so yeah, at this point, I mean, we can really start proper again for those that are just joining us. I will not just be introducing myself like I did the first time. So I want to welcome everybody again. Please do confirm when you can see my screen. Okay. Please confirm when you can see my screen. Please, can you see my screen?
Yeah, not yet.
It came on and it
How about
disappeared.
now?
Yes, we can see.
Yes, it just came up. Yes,
Yes,
we can
it's showing now.
see.
We can see now.
We can now see some.
Why are you coming?
All right. I understand that you can see my screen now. So real quick, we'll go to speak to the review of our program so far. My name is Ayamfiolua for those that are just joining us. So the workshop so far has been quite interesting and challenging. As it has been one that has challenged us on understanding the highlighted role of big omics data. I will have to mute everybody now because of the interference, and it is coming in very, very strongly. So sorry about that. Yeah, please, admins, I want you to do us a favor, muting everyone from that is not muted. Yeah, that is not muted. Yeah.
Okay, sir.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you. So from this point, I go to speak to the fact that the program is designed to highlight the role of big omics data and how it's shaping modern biomedical innovation where molecular data is used. So this workshop program has been an introduction to the field of bioinformatics, which is the intersection of informatics and biology. So the goal of the program is to discuss the changing landscape of data-driven research in life sciences and the opportunities that comes with the widely accessible high-throughput technologies and computational methods for analysis and annotation of such detailed data in research and in industry. So I want to welcome us now to the closing section. And today we will be looking at a topic because we will be trying to identify what your next step will be in your bioinformatics journey, leveraging on OmicsLogic training tracks and resources. But before we touch that, we have been engaged over the past 7 days during the ongoing bioinformatics workshop, and we have been introduced to bioinformatics during the schedules and through and via our asynchronous courses, because they were all meant to be self-paced. We started with the opening section, where on this day one, we were told by the speaker that biology is rapidly growing to accommodate data science as a subfield. We learned that billions of data points from genes, proteins, and other molecular analysis have been compiled into large files, and they are ongoing even till now. They are being systematically studied, and that analyzing this data will lead to more knowledge and understanding about the living organisms, including human health, biotechnology, crops, and livestock. So this is really the call to realize the role of data in the research life cycle, such that we will be maximizing time and will be efficient scientists. We also looked at the various aspects of omics, ranging from phenomics, genomics, went forward to mention about epigenetics, transcriptomics, and so on. We introduced some concepts like phenomics, trying to explain that it focuses on changes seen in an organism, resulting in variation of its caused by the variation of its phenotype during the lifespan of the organisms. We also went forward to speak to genomics, which is the study of the whole genomes of the organisms, with the genome being the complete set of the genetic information in an organism. We went forward to also talk about epigenetics, as that aspect that looks and get to understand the set of changes in an organism that is brought about by the modification of gene expressions rather than the alteration of the genetic code in the individual's DNA. Then we went to get to understand the concept of what a transcriptome is. And we understood that the transcriptome is a total set of the mRNA transcript obtained from the transcription of the genetic information, and how this and transcriptome studies transcriptome per time. So like doing a snapshot per time. And they also try to examine how the transcriptome per time determines gene expression in a set of tissues. So at a particular time and at a given condition. We also went forward to talk about the file type, how that the FASTQ provides us with reads from the sequencer, and how that is the sequencer saves data in different form. Like we can see here, the FASTQ, FASTA, the GTF, the SAM, and BAM. Wait forward to talk about the fact that FASTA is a text-based format that represents DNA protein sequences. GTF stands for the genome transfer format. It contains genome annotation. So it stores the start and the end of each genomic element, like exons, isoform, and including the genes, so genomic elements. We mentioned about SAM and BAM, talking about alignment, format saving file, where SAM stands for the sequence alignment map, and the BAM stands for the binary alignment map. They are considerably quite the same, just that the representation of the alignment stands, are different. One saves the alignment in a text format, representing the alignment of this read on the reference sequence or genome. And practically, the SAM and BAM starts with an header section, followed by alignment information as tab separated lines for each read. Practically, it's the same for the BAM file, just that it's the same information as the SAM in binary format in 1 and 0. From there, we went to our day 2 assignment, where we were introduced to three lessons. So a lot of persons were having issues understanding that they had to complete 3 lessons for them to get the certificate. And in this lesson, participants were exposed to a series of interesting concepts, I believe. And those concept touches bioinformatics, what bioinformatics is all about, bioinformatics in healthcare, translational bioinformatics, and then we were challenged. At the end of each lesson, you had to to do some tasks to show that you actually participated in it, and you were able to overcome that and also engage the platform readily. You also you were also given the opportunity to give a feedback about your experience and your encounter with every lesson, which has actually been quite interesting. For some persons, this course took up to 10 hours. For some other persons, it was quite faster for them. At the same time, we went to talk about the course 2, which was much more challenging, because unlike the first one that had three lessons, this one actually has 11 lessons, and it was diving deeper into other subsets of bioinformatics, and we're trying to look at the cells as an hard drive practically. And the course actually intended to help us to understand how the current revolution in bioinformatics education is impacting the human health. And so far so good. It has been quite interesting and eventful. And today, as we are aware, we have actually engaged over the past 7 days during the ongoing basic bioinformatics introductory workshop being introduced to us. So at this point, I would love to move to participant share. I would love to move to participant share. Yeah. So so I would love to just call on few persons that have actually that has actually volunteered to share how their experiences has been. If we still have time, we're going to call on any other persons that is willing to also share how the experience has been. So at this point, I would love to just call on one of the persons here. I'm not too sure. Is Ikeolua here? Is Ikeolua here? So Ikeolua gave a feedback. She says, "I'm truly grateful for the opportunity to participate in the free bioinformatics scholarship, especially the Byte and molecule course, the course design that introduces the fundamental concept of molecular biology and their analysis using data was incredibly insightful for a beginner like me. Exploring topics such as genomics, epigenomics, and more through the T-Bio info platform was engaging and informative. I thoroughly enjoyed the lesson and the comprehensive approach to bioinformatics. This experience has ignited my interest further, and I hope to continue learning and exploring in this field. Thank you for providing me with this enriching opportunity." So before I continue with other reviews, I would love to stop sharing and call on 2 or 3 persons here to share their own experience firsthand. And okay, I can see Mr. Mike hands up. Idu Mike, I think I can see your hand up. Okay. So if you would love to share, please just raise your hand up and I would call on you. So let me call on me, Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike, are you there? Please kindly unmute. Mr. Mike, are you there? Would love to share your experience so far. Okay. Mr. Mike, okay. Okay, I think I can see two hands up here. Okay, let me call on Dauda. Dauda, your hands is up.
Hello,
Dauda,
good afternoon.
yeah, good afternoon.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes, I would like to thank the organization for giving us space in this program. So my own area of research is related to bioinformatics. So I'm like from the first day till now I've been learning. You can see like how some of the courses I've not actually finished it. What I've got to understand that what gene sequencing is, the protein, what comprises in the cell, what you can do with the present data. At least it's giving more information on my research work. Because presently I'm learning bioinformatics in the area of computational chemistry. So I would like to say this to the organization, that they should keep on doing the good work, and we hope that other people have such opportunity with time to come by. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that feedback. It's what 1,000 words I would love to say. Yeah, I love feedbacks. Okay, let me call on the next person here. With the hand raised up. That's the person. Sorry, I'm trying to read the queue for the people whose hand is raised up. Okay, so Uluwale Olufunke, are you there?
Hello.
Uluwale, yeah, we can hear you. Good evening.
I'm very happy to be part of this program, to be sincere with you. I have little knowledge about bioinformatics before, but when I got to your home, I saw another dimension, a different way of entry to this thing, and it really thrills me. The only thing I just want is just a feedback. If you can also add somebody from a Greek also to it, because I can understand that your field is in medicine, and most of the examples you gave to us are through the medical aspect. There are lots also in animal science or animal genetics, but even the agriculture you did, it was mostly on crop. With the animal aspect, the bioinformatics aspect of the animal is not that much. Even the database for the animal science is not included. I just wanted to please to put somebody in animal science with yours so that we too can flow very well compared with it. Though I'm flowing very well to be sincere with you. I've not even finished the course. I'm really, really interested. I want to further, and I really enjoy it. Thank you very much for even having the mind to carry us along. I really enjoy it. God bless you. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks so much for that feedback. It's quite lovely. Thanks so much. Okay, I will just call on the next two persons. We have Usman Kumar. Please, can you tell us where you're joining us from, and can you just give us a quick feedback?
Yes, sir. Sir, actually, I wasn't able to take all the lectures, but I think all this setup and all these experiences and all this work that you have been putting on these lectures, they are so much impressive. I'm really very glad to listen about them and hearing your lectures and type of formative and presentation that you were making there. So this was all amazing experiences. And I'm not from the African region. I'm away from. I'm from Pakistan, basically in Asia. So I would like to keep continue your efforts, and these efforts have been also admired outside Africa, here in Pakistan as well. Thanks, sir.
All right, thank you so much. Let me Okay. I think Adejoke, you are on the call and you've just also indicated with your hand raised up. I would call. Sorry, am I too sure about that? Okay. All right. So let me just call on two more persons, Dr. Jafar and Peggy. O2. Then I will go back to the slides. Then later on, I will still revert to this feedback section. So, Dr. Jafar, are you there? Can you please share?
Okay. Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to share my feedback. Actually, I'm joining from Istanbul, Turkey, where I'm doing a fellowship over there. And then, hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yeah, we follow.
All right, that's great. Well, being a biochemist by training, actually the most of the stuff, particularly in the first lesson, serve as a revision to a certain extent. But when I come across the second part, and I think there are lots of things really that help me to remember a lot the things I learned when I was doing my master's, I think, and then particularly the sequencing aspect. Actually, I really enjoy that part, and of course the metagenomic. I'm not deeply into a microbiology aspect, but when I've gone through this material shared, they really helped me. Actually, they really shaped my thinking, and I now have a clear view about the whole thing on the big data. Actually, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. You guys have really done well. And I think during the introductory parts of this program, you made mention that that after this, there is going to be another chance, which of course is not going to be free. And I'm very much willing to join that very one, actually, so that one will advance his knowledge on it. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. Thank you so much. I'm actually seeing a lot of feedback and questions here. I hope Dr. Adekunle is really paying attention to that. Let me just call on the last person, then go back to the slide as soon as possible. Peggy O2, can you please tell us where you're joining us from, and give a quick feedback?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. I am calling from Nigeria, Calabar, and in fact, for me, it was refreshing, especially the first course was very refreshing. I teach genetics, but it was made simple for me. For every teacher, you are looking for simpler ways to explain to your students to understand better. So for me, it gave me an opportunity to be able to explain better to my students about the genomics, about proteomics, about metagenomics, and all. A lot of students find these things very difficult to understand. So it was very easy for me to follow. It was refreshing, and it was very, and it was fun for me. The graphics, everything was just. If you notice, I took my time. I took so many hours going through the first course because I needed to, and I love that it kept on repeating. You kept on talking about a particular thing in another module. You still repeated. And for me, in fact, right now, I think I have it all in my head. I don't need to look at any resource now because it's all here in my head. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you so much. I will be sharing my screen again so that I can just rush. Then the time left, I believe that we will be able to come back to still call on some of us. I will be sharing my screen now. Please do confirm that you can actually see my screen. I saw a feedback real quick from Professor Foluke Eunice. Thank you so much for that. I mean, it's quite lovely to actually have you here. I didn't even expect that you're going to join us. Thank you so much. She's also an animal scientist, and like the first person said, please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we can see your
Yes, sir.
screen,
Yes,
sir.
we can see it.
Okay. So thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for all of these questions too that I can see here for the feedback. I really appreciate that. We'll just go through three more feedbacks, and that will be it. Abib, is a system engineer, science laboratory technician, was sharing that the training has been quite very educative, easy to assess, he said. So that's quite lovely. Then we also have Shagufta Pervin, really, yeah, and he shared that it was a good course for beginners, especially the quizzes you have designed, though some were quite very simple, but I enjoyed them a lot. Thanks so much, OmicsLogic, for providing this platform. That was our own feedback. Yet we have Adejoke that also shared. She said, I found the Omics Logic Bioinformatics training to be exceptionally well designed. She's still on the call. Yeah, I think I just saw her.
Please, why don't we call these persons, because they indicated their intentions earlier to speak.
Okay, if she's actually here, I would love to call her totally. Hello, Adejoke, are you here?
I'm here. I'm here.
All right.
It's so nice.
All right, please. It's over to you.
Yes, I am. Can you hear me? I am.
Yes, we can.
Hello. Oh, my network is quite terrible, but I hope you can.
We can hear you. We can hear you.
So I found the training to be exceptionally well designed. I'm a lecturer, genetics lecturer. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we're still with you.
Okay, I said I found the training.
We are still
okay,
with
let me
you.
introduce myself first. All right, I'm Adejoke Obajilua, and bioinformatics and biotechnology is my area of research and specialty. I teach that at Afe Babalola University, and the training, especially the first set of modules, were quite very interesting. It was more like a relearning for me because that's what I teach. But I love the systematic and the exceptional way with which you designed the modules for self-paced study. Explained with impressive clarity.
Yeah, I think we just lost you.
And, you know, it was quite easy to get by for anyone coming to bioinformatics for the first.
Yeah, I think we lost you, Doctor. Adejoke, I think we lost you. Yes, now we can hear you.
Oh, did you? Oh, I thought I actually I'd said a lot of things. Okay, should I start all over again? I think you should take my submission later. My network is quite.
Please just continue from. Okay, please. Yeah, but I think you can just write it in the chat and we're going to read it. So I think in advance she shared that the content was explained with impressive clarity. So it gave room for deep understanding of complex bioinformatics concept. So thank you so much for that. I think at this point, would love to. I'm not too sure. Can you see my screen, everybody? No, I don't think you can.
Oh no, Dr. Anyefe, your screen is not on yet, sir.
Okay. Okay. All right. At this point, I'd love to go forward to speak to the fact that so far so good. It has been lovely. Engaging academicians, engaging students, engaging industry people, mathematician. I was surprised. Someone from Vienna University over there also joined, and she was a mathematician. A pure mathematician, and it was quite interesting to see how that everyone is trying to make sure that they contribute their own quota to making sure that we have access to quality health. So I would love to call us to engage the workshop participant feedback form. We want you to be quite objective, such that we understand what we did not do well, what we actually did well, and what we could have done better. So at this point, I want to pause and go. I want to pause and start to look at some of the questions that have been asked on the chat. Yeah, because I understand that there are some other questions that is on the chat and that we need to answer. So please, Dr. Adekunle, I want you to get ready so that we will be able to, you will be, please ready your slide, because after this section, you are taking over. Dr. Adekunle, can you hear me? Do you copy me, sir?
Yes, I can hear you loud and clear. Thank you.
All right. So please, we'll just take some few questions, then over to you. So a quick question from Sharon from Yaoundé, Cameroon. She says, please, if we are not able to complete the course during the 6-day period, will we still have access after today to complete the training to obtain our certificate? Dr. Adekunle, I think we still have access till Tuesday, right?
Yes, please. So we'll be giving participants access until Tuesday so that we can get to complete our course, the ongoing courses that we are engaging, particularly because we are aware some persons joined us late, and at the same time we equally want some persons who are going through the courses at a strategic pace to equally be able to complete the course. So up to Tuesday, everyone still has the opportunity to continue with the courses.
All right, thank you so much. Another question here. Please, Mr. Daniel, if you are there, can you please handle these question sections and start train the question out? I'm not too sure if Mr. Daniel there.
Okay, I can hear you, sir. I can hear you. I'm there.
Yeah, please over to you. Questions.
Comment. Yeah, so I'm going to pick the second question. Okay. So this one says that from Timothy Olarinwaju, say thank you very much, Anyefe, and the entire OmicsLogic Africa for your valuable effort by giving us this opportunity. The course is very important and attractive. So this is the question. Say, please, for those of us who is just free to complete the course this week, are we going to have access to complete the course too? Then the second question is, must we complete all our profile detail before we can take the course? Or can we take the course and complete the profile later? Thank you very much. Can you hear me, Dr.
All right. Yeah, I did.
Okay.
So I remembered that that you add this profile issue that has been forwarded today. It has been forwarded to system admin. So I want you to know that we are working make sure that your the invalid profile issue is being resolved. So please, of course, we've answered the previous question saying that there's an extension till Tuesday because of those that actually joined the training late. Thank you so much, Dr. Kumari-san. So lovely to actually have you there.
Please, may I ask
also,
okay, go ahead. When you're done.
Okay, all right.
I wanted to attempt the second question. I mean,
okay, please do.
Okay, so the question regarding must we all complete all our profile details? It is recommended that you complete your profile details, particularly, I mean, the names aspect of the profile, because automatically once you complete a course, the certificate is generated automatically from the platform. And so if you have not done that part, I mean, it might affect the name that comes out with the certificate. However, there's no, standard rule or standing rule that you cannot immediately commence engagement with the courses. So you can actually continue while you are resolving your profile. The last thing I'd like to mention is from our technical team from the international office, we were told that mostly persons who had issues with their profile were those who perhaps tried to sign up on the Learn platform via their mobile devices, or perhaps they had network glitches while trying to submit, which affected the process. We are still waiting for them to complete the resolution, but at least I think for some persons who reached out, I quickly advised if they could create another account so that they can just have everything well sorted and proceed with their their learning. All right. So, but should it be that you do not have any issues, but you just want to continue with the courses while you complete the profile subsequently? Well, that is left to you. But then we recommend, completion of the profile before you proceed. And please kindly note that completion of the profile is equally has points. That is earnable or accruable from that is added to your point. So, I mean, it is recommended you complete the profile. That would be that, please.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Daniel. Do we have another question? Mr. Daniel, do we have another question? Okay, I think I just saw one quick question. Someone says that the tracker is locked. Okay, I'm not able to obtain access to the tracker to update my progress. Please, everyone, we need to go there to obtain our progress. Yeah, and it's quite important for us to do that. So the tracker is locked.
I think that has been fixed.
I have the tracker open
before me.
And I think that is been fixed. Okay.
Hello,
Please,
Dr.
we're sorry for the inconvenience. Yeah. So please, over to you.
Yeah. So actually, question I wanted to table before is about the tracker, but thank God that I have answered that. So let me just read this. So this is from Dr. Sasi from India. He said, I have scored 4,093 points and 2 certificates, but did not get reflected in the tracker. Instruct me kindly to go further. Thank you very much for your arrangement. So I don't know, but I'm thinking that he is thinking that it's going to reflect automatically in the tracker once it's done with the courses. So probably he doesn't know that he has to do it physically, like manually on his own. So I think that's the issue there.
Okay. So the tracker is meant for our interaction. And please, I believe we should go back and update it even with our points and our activities. Yeah, I think I also saw another hand up. Do you have another question? All right.
Okay,
All right. In the
yeah.
absence of any. Okay. A quick one.
Okay,
Then over to you.
someone, so this is Oluwole Olufunke. So she says that also there's a problem of getting through the courses. Maybe there's a lot of people on it. So most of the ones I did were in the night or early of the day. Okay, I'm not sure. So she was talking about traffic. Okay.
Yeah, there's an element of truth in that. But there are also ways to go. I mean, like to go about that. So what I think you can do is that okay, in your free time, like in the day, when you want to engage it in your free time and at your own pace, we have severally written in a chat that you may turn on a VPN such that your server is not going to be a local server. So you could choose another country and join. In fact, it's going to be kind of quite express. So I'm actually sure that that will actually bring a quick solution. Then Dr. Adekunle, you want to add something to that?
Not at all. Not at all. I'm waiting for you.
Okay, Dr. Ayanfe, I have a question again. Someone asked a question. Hello?
Okay, please, over to you.
Yeah. Okay, this is by Dr. Adejoke Olukayode. So she says that, how do we go about submitting the activities, which is, in quotes, daily tasks, the course assessment results, are necessary for valuable feedback on how well the concepts were undertaken and understood. So should I read that again, sir?
Yeah, I got the question. Thank you again, Dr. Adejoke. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's the last person that shared our feedback and how she loved the systematic way in which algorithms were arranged for practice and how they were well designed for self-paced study. Wow. So thank you. That's so lovely. Thanks so much. So concerning this question, submitting the activities, for some persons that reached out about submitting activities, we the admins, you could submit your activities to us and we will look through it. Of course, I have not actually answered few that submitted because I think we need more hands to be able to manage 300 plus persons. So every cohort was actually divided into more than 100 persons, and I want you to know that we have more than 2 cohorts. So so that you understand how the activities and the engagement of each person actually look like. But remember that you can actually submit your progress, especially whenever some particular tasks are given to you to do personally, and I am also open for you to do that. So I'll look at your concept and tell you that, yeah, you did this well, you didn't do this well, and so on. So yes, there's another question here from Boluwatife. So you can still continue your course till Tuesday. So that's possible. All right. So I would call on you, Dr. Adeluwoye. I'm not seeing any other hands up so that you can carry on from here. I'll stop sharing my screen.
All right. Thank you very much. I hope we can get to move through this second part quickly and come to understand the next journey for many of us who are interested in building further on our skills. I would be sharing my screen now. A moment, please. Okay. Please, can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. Dr. Adekunle, can see your screen, sir.
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Okay. Thank you very much. Once again, my name is Adekunle Adeluwoye. I'm the Program Director for OmicsLogic Africa and UREKA with Bioinformatics Incorporated USA. and I'm a faculty with Lee City University here in Nigeria. I will move quickly in this second part to share with us some of the, plans we have of future programs that is feasible and possible with the learn.omicslogic.com platform, which are the programs that we will be bringing across to our participants. Let me state that the first workshop we have just gone through is meant to provide a basic, background and introduction to bioinformatics, and then, of course, now depending on each and every one of us to build further, depending on our own individual aspect or feeds. All right, I'm happy to see that we have persons who are, like Garabad, I think mentioned earlier on during the feedback session, who are into computational, I wouldn't say biology, but they are with background in computer sciences and possibly looking at machine learning and the other aspects, which are equally possible from the training we provide on our platforms. Equally for persons from agricultural background or medical background, I think one of our Peggy, if I'm correct, one of the feedback sessions mentioned the interest in seeing more of our resources tailored towards animal science. So I would say yes, very, very valid point there. And a lot is going on to ensure that just any aspect of the sciences can actually make use of bioinformatics. Okay, from our screen here, you can see these are some of the aspects in which we can apply the knowledge of what we have gained from these or from bioinformatics generally, or the omic sciences generally. And just any one of us, whether you're a mathematician in trying to come up with these algorithms, or a computer scientist, or even the biological scientist who uses them to profile solutions to challenges facing man, ranging from diseases, conditions to our environment, and including our food crops and animal production. So we have a whole lot of persons who can participate. I remember during the early days of these workshops, someone chatted me privately and was saying, sorry, I want to leave because I'm from an agricultural background, and I think most of what is being discussed here has to do with health. I responded, well, I can't stop you from leaving, but I can bet that you will have things from this workshop that you can equally apply to your aspect of, or area of your feed. Okay, and from this screen, you can see, in fact, bioinformatics and omic science generally is being applied to even space science as we speak. There's what we call space and astrobiology, where scientists are picking samples from the space. Some bacteria that can survive even at that particular, in the moon or wherever the space, the various spaces that man has been able to visit, brings them back here and to see what are the things we can learn or garner from them using omic sciences. Equally for individuals, I'm sure maybe anytime, any moment from of us, as we have the resources, will begin to book us our slots to want to just pay a visit to the space, going by some of the works that is going on by some organizations out there, like the SpaceX by Elon Musk. All right, so individuals who want to visit the space. So what are the implications for individuals who have gone there? Are there impact on their body systems, biological system, genomics, and the rest? These are some of the things space and astrobiology is looking at currently. And of course, for biotechnology and agriculture, we have the climate, environment, the animal production, and a whole lot of things that is possible, all right, with with omic sciences. So moving on, to build on what we have all learned already, it is time to take on additional training, I must say, that will help strengthen the knowledge and skills that we've already garnered in this workshop during the past few days. And so we will be presenting the various training programs options that are available. I think I mentioned some of them during the opening session. We will be looking at them closely today so that we look at the various opportunities and that is open to us and how to leverage on them. We'll talk about the OmicsLogic programs, and again mention some other OmicsLogic workshop, which are they are short courses that we have put together for maybe a space of 5 to 7 days or more, as the case may be, for participants to also engage with to further build their skills. This is particularly very useful for those who might not have the resources to want to go in fully to engage the OmicsLogic programs. Besides the OmicsLogic programs and OmicsLogic workshop, we equally have the OmicsLogic Research Fellowship, which I would be talking about also. This one is a focused research-oriented fellowship program with the aim of carrying out your own project using some of those skills that you have gained to, evaluate or analyze data sets available from various repositories, and that is speaking to area of interest to you in particular. Take, for example, the feedback again from Mrs. Peggy. I wouldn't know whether I'm correct with that appellation, but from your feedback, I can bet there are a whole lot of sequences and genomics data sets out there in repository relating to animal husbandry, which, based on what has been shown or has been learned from this course, you could go there, pick those data sets, and apply the same tools and principles to analyze them to come up with results. All right, not necessarily you sequencing your own data set. Of course, if the opportunity presents for you to sequence your own data set and analyze, that is beautiful. You simply also contribute those data sets to those repository for others to have access to it. So please, there are a whole lot of databases that are out there, irrespective of what you want to study or what is your own area of specialization or field. So I want us to bear that in mind. Shortly after now, I would want to go live to this page on online. I hope I'm able to share that page with you. But like I did mention last week, we have various programs. Currently, we have 4 programs, statutory programs that are recursive. Recursive in the sense that anytime you are ready, you can join the program and your time starts from then and you can complete it. We have this program spanning the space of a month, that is 30 days, 60 days, that is 2 months, and equally 3 months, that is 90 days, depending on what you want to go for. The 30 days has 6 different sessions, and they have courses. Some of these courses you have gone through, you might have discovered there are several other courses on our platform which are not accessible during this workshop, but some of them, because they are very relevant to those programs, they will be added to those programs. You can take them, access videos, take assignments, and even have access to mentorship sections from the OmicsLogic program. So like I mentioned, we have 4 of them currently. Transcriptomics for biomedical research. This online program will introduce real-world application of RNA-seq data analysis in biomedical research and provide participants with hands-on skills and logical background to extract insight from gene expression data. And we have a whole lot of that on the Gene Omnibus database. We will review methods and history of quantitative and qualitative analysis of mRNA expression, and I can assure you that practical sessions that will guide participants to use the methods we review on several of the project data sets to practice themselves will equally be available, working with the various FASTQ files and the rest. All right. So I will speak shortly about how to join this program when I'm after now, or any of the programs. We equally have another program excuse me, titled Introduction to Big Data Bioinformatics Multi-Omics. And so with the decreasing cost of next generation sequencing, and there are a whole lot of avalanche of data set being generated by the day across laboratories. So there's a need for us to have the understanding of the various tools available for multi-omics analysis. So this training will provide participants opportunity to analyze this NGS data, ranging from identifying pathogenic or germline or somatic DNA variants to measuring gene expression, detecting methylation patterns, and even studying microbial communities, be it on human skin, gut, or lungs, or any other organs of the body. So as you might have been aware already, on our T-Bio platform, there are a whole lot of these various sections with various tools and algorithms that can be applied in the multi-omics training. So this online program is designed for everyone, including students who don't have background in bioinformatics, to begin and gradually work their ways through genomics, transcriptomics, metagenomics, and other aspects of omics sciences. Of course, we've gone through the introductory part, during the first two courses we just concluded, and I'm sure you will want to build further on that. So this is a program to consider. We equally have another program also, which is the third one I will be talking about, Bioinformatics for biomedical drug discovery. I know many of us will be interested in this. In this part of the world, we do a lot of phytomedical, yes, let me call it phytomedical analysis. That is phytomedicine, using our plants and most of these, herbs that our forefathers have been using. With many, in fact, we still have a whole lot of herbs today, speaking to the aspect of healing one condition or the other. And so there's a whole lot to do with chemoinformatics. So if you're interested in chemoinformatics, this program is designed for you, and it will help address the challenges associated with understanding, modeling, and screening, as well as applying the chemoinformatics strategies to improve drug discovery results, or possibly even reanalyzing previous compounds to see how they can be readapted to new conditions and or diseases that they were previously not known to be used for. So this is a program we recommend for that. And last but not the least is the biomedical data science using Python program. This program, of course, will cover practical and conceptual aspects of machine learning in application to high throughput biomedical data using various tools and Python. Throughout the course, students will get an understanding of opportunities and limitations of machine learning in the context of preclinical and clinical research. But excuse me, permit me to mention, like I said earlier on, that it is not limited to clinical research. All right, these tools can be applied to just any aspect of omic sciences or science generally, provided that the data sets are there. It will surprise you that very recently we were involved in a bioinformatic analysis for a client here in Nigeria, who their sample was Iru. What is Iru now in English? I think that is
locust beans.
Yes, locust beans. I mean, that has been fermented locust beans. All right. They did analysis on it to look at what are the microbial, properties or microbial activities happening there. All right. And so that is a sample. It's not related to clinical samples. Okay. So, and they were able to work with that, and we did the analysis. So I'm saying, in essential, it is not limited to clinical research. You can pick these two, apply it to just any sequencing, either by yourself or those that are available, provided it has been sequenced and the data set is available out there. I'd like to quickly speak to the cost of these programs. Okay, so usually all the 4 programs I've mentioned, you can join these programs either as a beginner, as an intermediate, or as an advanced participant. However, of course, if you join the beginner and at some point you want to move ahead to join the intermediate, you can as well do that. So the beginner goes for a month. I mentioned that earlier on. It has a timeline of 1 month. You can see that on the screen here. And the intermediate gives you a space of 2 months to assess and to interact with the platform and all the content, while the advanced comes with 3 months access. And if you visit the platform, these are the rates: $75, $150, $300. Of course, if you join the beginner, you paid $75, and at some point you felt, oh, I think I love what I'm gaining here. I want to move further, and you now want to move to the intermediate. All you need to pay will have to be the $75 addition, not that you'll be paying $150 afresh. And equally, if you want to just move straight to advanced, you pay up the balance. So this is what is available on the platform. However, I have a kind of some form of good news for us who are from this part of the world, particularly Nigerians. And of course, we'll find a means of also getting our participants from other aspects of Africa to equally benefit from this. So for Nigeria, you will understand with me very much whether the $75 is not equivalent of 34,500 naira we can see here for the beginner, simply because of our exchange rate. However, from the OmicsLogic International Office, we've been allowed to pay these prices, this figure we can see on screen, which comes with a 50% discount. All right, because $75 will have been equivalent of 69,000 naira now if we're using the current exchange rate, that is available in the market. So, but we are not doing that. You simply pay 34,000 naira for beginner, and as you have it on the screen. So what I would recommend is, if you want to join any of this program, just kindly reach out to any of the admins, and then we'll provide further guidance and assistance. Because I can equally authoritatively mention that we also allow for instrumental payments. Okay, the platform allows for that. So how does that work? Take, for example, you want to pay $150. You want to come in for the intermediate. You're only allowed to pay in 2 installments. You are paying the first installment at the beginning, at the point you are joining the program, and exactly 30 days after, that is halfway into the program, you pay the next balance. All right. So same thing for the advance. You want to join the advance, you are paying the first installment. You can pay in 3 installments. You pay the first installment today, exactly 30 days after. It's automated. Sorry, let me see. You pay the next is expected from your card or whatever you are paying from, and the next 30 days, that will be 2 months into the program, you pay the 3rd installment. However, for beginner, there's no instrumental payment. I must emphasize that. And that is equally applicable to our participant that wants to pay in naira. We are trying as much as possible to see how we make this program accessible and encourage a whole lot of persons to come into the omics science space to build their skills. So moving on, having talked about that, I'd like to speak to the fact that we have dedicated workshops, workshop series on specific domains too. Okay, we are just currently concluding workshop on introduction to bioinformatics. We have workshops, that we have done in time past on genomics, and some are also in the view. we have opportunity of also organizing workshops on transcriptomics, metagenomics, epigenomics, the machine learning and data science, aspect equally. And more specifically, of course, these workshops are 5 to 7 days, usually short, term training program that participants have access to engage with our materials on the platform. We provide the necessary guidance through, our activity tracker, and as well as the group pages on WhatsApp. We've been using WhatsApp for now. Of course, nothing stops us from engaging some other platforms, social media platforms we can engage or interact through. And I like to mention that one of the ones that is coming up soonest is OmicsLogic Metagenomics Workshop. That will be happening from 9th of September to 16th of September. That will be about 7 days. Saturday to Saturday, just like what we have just gone through. And the program is dedicated to metagenomics specialization that explores how, different analysis can be used to understand the microbial world, and for us to conduct some form of analysis or understand how to conduct analysis of the microbiome. All right, so this is our first training that will be coming up soon. I would like to state that this comes only at $20, $20, 18,000 naira. I can bet we would or assure you that we'll be sharing more details about this program and how to join the program on our various group pages for this training, as well as for some of our previous cohorts of training. We equally avail them the notice of this training. The next that we are currently equally planning among our workshop series is the OmicsLogic Infectious Disease Workshop. The date is not yet decided, I must say, but of course, it's a program that is also dedicated to studying viral diversity and its role in a lot of epidemic infectious diseases and how to analyze them. Some of the course content are what we can see on the screen. All right, so details will be shared regarding this, subsequently. And last but not the least, of course, I'm glad to let you know that we're equally planning to reorganize this introductory bioinformatics workshop again by November. So please, the date is not fixed yet, but you can start informing friends and colleagues to get, set to take advantage of this introductory workshop. The introductory workshop, I hope we would be engaging further with the international office. I hope we'll probably be getting full scholarship for this. But if not full scholarship, I can bet we'll be getting some form of scholarship for that set of participants. But hopefully we are able to leverage on the fact that the 1,000 participants that were given access to for this current cohort, we have not exhausted that. So hopefully we can leverage on that for this other program. And so moving on, like we mentioned previously, these trainings are meant to provide clear understanding of the logic behind bioinformatics analysis in the context of cutting-edge research projects that is feasible, and to see how data science methods can be used to study and understand biological phenomena. And so the plan is for us to organize and to apply, to organize this training, provide a community, an OmicsLogic community that can attend to some of our concerns or assistance or support needed during our own independent research project using the tools and methods we have covered. All right. So, like I mentioned earlier on, once these skills are acquired, we can apply to any aspect of sciences. The last but not the least would be the OmicsLogic Fellowship Program, which I like to now talk about, Research Fellowship Program. Incidentally, some persons have chatted me up, as, from these various cohorts of training that is asking about how they can join the research fellowship, mentioning the fact that they saw some of the links on some of those lessons. Unfortunately, those links were not working because those links were probably linked to this previous one we did in the summer of 2022 and has been deprecated. But I can assure you the program is continuous. And so our research fellowship goes for 60 days, or we have 60 days or 90 days, meaning 2 months or 3 months. Usually the focus is that it ends with some form of research publication based on the analysis the students must have done. Immediately after now, we equally show us some of the projects, several projects done by past participants of programs like this that varies across different levels of expertise, from undergraduates to researchers and faculties. Okay, they've gone through the programs, they've come up with their own problems and been able to use these tools to understudy and carry out their own analysis, with some of them ending up in poster presentation or even publication, depending on what the student was able to do within the research fellowship timeline. So the research fellowship covers, like I said, 60 days. The 60 days, goes for the sum of 126,000 naira. I think that is about 100 something dollars. I can't remember the exact conversion now. And why the 30 days, which is used for 189,000 naira. But like I mentioned earlier on, they can be paid instrumentally also. They usually result in research publication. Let me state that some form of discount or scholarship can equally be availed, but then that is based on application and review and approval by the board, which we do not have total, control over. But then up to 50% could still be availed to individuals depending on their, case scenarios and what they must have demonstrated during their application process. So that is about our research fellowship program. I look forward to us reaching out and indicating interest in this, moving on. Let me state that we equally have university partnership programs. Many of I'm pleased to have, a lot of faculties and lecturers, tutors on this program. So yes, we can work with institutions, or in fact, maybe faculties or lecturers where the institution is not yet coming in, where you decide to want to expose your students to some of our resources. Take, for example, the introduction to bioinformatics training workshop. So maybe when next we are having that, you can leverage on that. Or perhaps you want to reach out to come into some partnership where we can, extend this training at your own pace and time for your own students. So we're looking forward to such partnership. So just simply reach out to any of the admin or write us at africa@pine.bao for us to bring this up. We have a few institutions in Nigeria currently on such partnership, and we look forward for more, definitely. So, like we said, I know a number of us have this certificate of completion already, and please, it's something you should be proud of to share and to add to your collections. All right. For those of us who might still be having issues downloading ours, please, that will be resolved ultimately. But as we mentioned during the opening session, we have the certificate for the workshop itself. Like we can see on this screen, this one was for the basic bioinformatics training that was done in 2021. Okay, so we will be providing this type of certificate also to participants. However, this one is optional, like we stated earlier on. It comes only at just $5 or 3,000 naira if you're paying in naira. So after now, we'll be posting the payment links or accounts on our group page. Should you want to end this, of course, this is from the program itself with the partnership of Taba Bioinformatics Research Center, University of Haifa, endorsing these certificates. So please reach out to us. We will be posting the details for as many who will be interested, and then it will be provided to us. Moving on quickly, let me acknowledge once again the great team behind the OmicsLogic training programs, and who have also given us the opportunity to extend this training to our environment here. Our goal is simply to bring a lot of persons, to come to understand the impact and import, as well as how to use bioinformatics in their research in this genomics era. And equally, I must appreciate profusely our team, some of whom you have met on this training. Some are apparently not available to join us live currently. We have, let me start from Oladejo Sarah, who is currently a graduate fellow in the United States. We have Odubu Sunday, he's our programs associate. We have Victor, our programs associate, and your very own Akiemi Daniel, whom you very much know, is our growth ambassador, manager. And we have Dr. Infioma Nzelu, Dr. Anyafe, and my humble self. Okay, so of course, currently, I don't be surprised in our next training that the faces behind OmicsLogic Africa might be more than that, because we have a number of persons who we are equally currently working with, and you might be having them also on the team soon. At this juncture, I want to take questions to possibly clarify some of the things I've mentioned, and equally provide any information that might be necessary. But before this, while we are preparing for those questions, permit me to go live now. I want to show some things like I mentioned earlier on. Let me stop sharing and reshare another window so that I can be able to do that, just that. Okay, so please let me know when you can see my screen. Trying to reload the page now.
We haven't seen it yet.
Okay, please, a moment.
Okay, please.
Please, I hope this page loads soon. I think I tried opening it down before now. All right. Okay, so I believe we are very much familiar with this page. This was what I mentioned earlier on regarding the various programs. So when you come to the page and you click on programs, you would see all of these current 4 programs, 4 of them. Okay. Okay, so this is the latest one, but yet to go live. That is on the last one. But the current 4 I spoke about, all you need to do is just to visit the page. Let me do that with this particular one. I click on go. It will load that specific page. And I can get to understand more about the program overview and skills you will gain going through this program. Okay, and some of the key features. I like to go to the syllabus or the interactive section aspect. Here is the beginner part. Okay, you can minimize this and equally expand that. It has 6 sessions: introduction to molecular biology and bioinformatics. It has videos, and these are the specific objectives. When this is activated for a participant who have paid, this page takes a new look. You begin to see all the resources link, the videos, the lessons attached to section 1. Okay, please kindly take note of that. We have the section 2, section 3, 4, 5, and 6. So should an individual want to, let me state that after signing up for this program, I remember someone called me earlier today. I was asking having access to, ongoing access to the learning platform. So if you join a program, you have infinity access to that program page. However, only the courses that are attached to the program that would expire after the 30 days. But you can always come back to interact with the content of that program you have signed up for. So you have access to the 6 sessions. However, if you go for the intermediate, you can see it continues from section 7. So you essentially will be building on what you've gained previously on the first 6 sections. And should you have subscribed to intermediate directly, you apparently have access to the entire 12, the first 6 and this second 6. However, if you're moving to the advanced part of this program, so you continue to have access from section 13 up until section 24. So additional 12 sections for moving on to the advanced level. And it has a whole lot of content with the goal of you completing a capstone project ultimately. So this is also similar to running a research fellowship, just that they have some form of variations. All right. So this also equally ends with a capstone project, 24 whole sections. So if you want to subscribe, all you need to do is just register for this program. And of course, you can see the pricing. It will come as a default in USD. But like I mentioned, for those of us from Nigeria, you can reach out to us and then we'll find the means of getting you onto this program. That will be the first I want to share. Let me check from my other window. Okay, let me state that this applies to all the 4 programs, irrespective of which one you are going for. And the pricing is here underneath. I mean, can see the pricing section here. Okay, and these are some of the courses that are equally attached to. Of course, if you are joining the program, you might want to review again, starting from the introduction to bioinformatics, which you already did, or you just want to move on to other courses which we never had access to on this current workshop, but that are part of this training, a part of this program. Let me see if I can access my program page. If that page has opened up. Okay, yes. So equally, I remember talking about projects. You can see here, check out our students' projects. These projects were done by students, individuals, participants who came into our research program, research fellowship program, or the regular program training, and at the end themselves did this project using available data sets from repositories out there to conduct their own studies. And we have several of them, okay? Several from individuals. You can see their points because, of course, as you are engaging more and more in these activities, you are apparently earning more points on the platform. I'm happy to hear that one of our participants had over 4,000 points from these two courses based on their engagement. So moving on, as you build further, of course, your points begin to increase. You can see this person in silico analysis of transcriptomic data for drug repurposing in breast cancer. This data used by this individual was gotten from repository there. She didn't sequence it herself. All right. Use these data sets provided by individuals relating to breast cancer, reanalyze them using bioinformatic tools, and able to come up with a project she could present, which we have here. And of course, when we join our programs, we have access to these videos and we can equally go through them, see what they've done, and equally replicate them. So it's a form of project learning experience we have access to. All right, so a whole lot of projects. We have those that has to do with marine biology, maybe animal biology. They might not be as much as those of medical programs, like I said, but then individuals are equally doing that. And we look forward to more of that, as we would love to also have your project on this platform ultimately. So those are the things I wanted to share. I think during the question and answer section, I'll be glad to equally, attend to some more questions. So that will be that from my end. Thank you for listening to this presentation. Do we have questions so that we can attend to them?
Yeah, thank you very much, Dr. Adekunle. Yeah, thank you. There's a question. There's someone that has a question, and coming. So the question goes thus. So the question is from Timothy Olariwaju. He says that this program and the certificate, are they very recognized by Western university organizations like the UK, the Europe, the US, and the Canada? Like he's asking that the programs and certificates, are they recognized like internationally?
All right, that's a great question. Sorry, let me just interrupt you.
Okay.
Oh, sorry, I was I didn't know I was
okay.
I didn't know I was
Okay.
on mute.
Okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
okay.
Dr. Adeluwe, over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you. Let me say that the answer is in the affirmative yes. All right. I mentioned to you while introducing the OmicsLogic Africa team about one of our team member who is now a graduate fellow at University of Alabama in the United States. Okay. She was with us here in Nigeria, I mean, at the start. And of course, building on what she learned from this program, and some of the recommendations, and equally what she has to show from her CV, she was convincingly accepted, onto that program, at the University of Alabama, to have a graduate program in bioinformatics and big data science. All right. And equally, we've given references to several other persons. Beyond references, I can assure you, on my own CV, personally, I have courses. I have certificate courses in Coursera that I took a few years back there, and I know doors they've opened for me and recommendations or recognitions they've earned for me. Coursera, I'm sure you're very much familiar with Coursera. Coursera is a well-known and recognized platform with a whole lot of, A-list universities organizing programs on that platform. So, Biotech certificates and programs are well recognized because maybe before we end, I will equally show you another page to see the cross section of universities and academic institutions and industry players we've partnered with across the globe. They are renowned and they are recognized for what they do. So if you take our program certificates to any of these institutions, they very much well we recognize because we are in fact training some of them, training their students. Like, in the United States, a whole lot of their programs, they during the summer, they have summer programs that is taken by Biotech for their graduate students or undergraduate students, just like the partnership I was talking about here earlier on with our universities. All right, so they are well recognized. Thank you for that. Dr. FM, you might want to add to that too. I think you might have even personal experience to share.
Yeah, so I remembered some applications I actually put in, and I use our certificate. Yes, from OmicsLogic. So we are international, and we have serious international partnership. And also registered with Bioinformatics network body. So I believe that's that. We have some persons with their hands raised up. Sharon, do you have a question? Okay, then I can also see Drew Simi's hand raised up. Do you have a
No,
question?
I'm sorry. That my question was then I think it's been answered. Sorry, I didn't know my hand was up.
All right. Then we also have Drew Simi Emmanuel. Your hand is up. Do you have a question? All right. And then I can see Mehran Khan. So Mehran, I believe you're writing me on chat. Are you still on the call? Okay, good afternoon, Mr. Durosimi.
Yes, I want to appreciate the organizers of this program. And I want to say we are very grateful for the opportunity of the scholarship. That gives us the opportunity to be able to partake in this program. I also want to ask, are there opportunity for wet lab? With a hands-on training, are there opportunities like that?
All right, thank you so much for that question. Wet lab training are quite interesting ones. I remember there was this partnership we did with MLR. We have with MLR in Ocean State. That's the multi-research laboratory with Ocean State University. The plan was actually to execute, to teach some hands-on wet lab, then also teach some hands-on practical bioinformatics practical. So for wet labs, we are quite open to co-organize that with any university of interest. But so far, in recent time, we do not engage wet lab except with university partnership in mind. When and where we can also invite other scientists across the state and globe to come around to take part in it. But rather, we we other time engage an hybrid training where you're going to see me in person and you see other trainers in person, and we will be engaging other scientists and researchers in person. So unlike this kind of meeting where everyone is kind of remote, there is going to be quite intensive, and I want you to prepare yourself. I think next week, maybe next 2 weeks. I mean, after we've taken a break, we will be having some hands-on where we will be preparing us on how to use some tools like Google Colab, bioinformatics analysis. So hands-on wet lab is quite possible. Is quite possible with institutional partnership in mind, and we actually for hands-on activity. All right. I hope I have answered your question, sir.
Yes, I think you did. Let me just add to that. The candid truth is wet lab training are quite expensive. I remember when we were at the verge of concluding and commencing the one with multi-research laboratory at Osun State University, cost and accommodation, because individuals will have to be lodged in hotels or accommodations within the university and a whole lot of that. So the cost was quite on the high side. And from my experience of trainings like that, even in here in Nigeria, I've seen one, that head at University of Nigeria, Enugu. Okay, equally, there is one that holds regularly at, in Kaba Biotech here in Ibadan, and also another one from a partnering organization in Lagos. So usually, I mean, the cost is high, and of course, most times they take very few persons, and so we would explore that one of these days. But like Dr. Anfe mentioned, I think it's an announcement we'd like to give. We'll still share further about that during the on our various course platform pages. We are planning at hosting a webinar, maybe 1 hour, 30 minutes webinar. This is free of charge to every one of us on Google Colab, and show us how we can all sign up and use those tools to equally carry out bioinformatics, studies or programs, analysis, individually. So that will be coming up sometimes next week or upper week. We'll share the details. So just stay tuned. That is a hands-on section, though it will be happening remotely, and it's not wet lab, but equally a very vital section we hope to organize. So I think Meron Khan wants to speak. Maybe you kindly allow him.
Hello, sir. Thank you so much. I enjoyed the live session. I have a question that what is the main role of bioinformatics and pharmaceutical side? Can you explain, please?
So you would love to know how to use your bioinformatics knowledge in pharmaceuticals, right? Is that your question?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's my question.
All right, I believe that's your question. So there are quite a number of ways in which we can actually use it, except from even trying to pursue in silico studies, where you have to do simulations, looking for adapter sites, and how some of these things also interface with other molecular data. But I need to also speak to the fact that your own interest in understanding the genetical or the transcriptomical angle of your own interest can actually determine the kind of date of experiment that you go for. So the question now goes back to you to ask, to know, and what is your own research interest? And once we know your own research interest, then we can make sense of what we have, and then can we actually, be able to help you focus your research question and help you to resolve this question. And that is the beauty of being a scientist. Did I answer your question, Mekran?
Yes, may I just add a few things? You did answer the question. I hope he got that. So, your understanding of transcriptomics, RNA expressions, or gene expressions regarding most of these diseases helps us to point out the active signaling pathways and the different, biological pathways, which you can begin to look at what are those compounds that interact with these various, druggable targets or receptors. Okay, so having that understanding, you can begin to look at the database of existing molecules to see which molecules conforms and interact with these receptors, or perhaps which novel, biomolecules. Take, for example, I mentioned phytomedicine the other time, some phytochemicals, okay, that has been screened, some GCMS and other, spatial analysis has been done on them to understand their structures. And from that structures, you begin to target or conform it with these various signaling molecules or receptors. And from that, you can understand what will work and what will not work. And ultimately, that helps you to, down the line, discover novel, drugs, or to repurpose existing drugs to new condition or existing conditions. So there are several things that is possible. I think if your area of interest is really pharmaceutical, you might want to consider the chemoinformatics angle, which, of course, besides talking about the molecules, we equally talk about the gene expression and how you can marry them together, in pharmaceutical drug discovery and interventions. I hope that further explains what Dr. Ayanfe mentioned earlier on.
All right. Thank you so much for that. Mr. Daniel, do you have something to say before we round up?
Okay. Good evening once again. Good afternoon once again from this part of the world. I just want to. It's a privilege to be among scholars, among bioinformaticians and scientists this afternoon. So what I'm going to say is just that beyond everything we have learned, we have to practicalize it and implement it. And that's the way forward, because we can learn something and just drop in somewhere. But by the time we make use of what we learn to advance more on that and be able to apply it to something very meaningful and in our career, then that's really be impactful and transformative. So I want to encourage every one of us to look forward as I've stirred up and ignite our interest in bioinformatics. Let's make sure that we do more online courses, do physical and online courses, and learn skills and improve on yourself so that we can be outstanding in our area. Thank you very much for listening.
Yes, thank you very much for that. I'd like to quickly add a few announcements. The first will be that please, we will be sharing additional information on the cohort group pages so that we can know how to go about getting a certificate. Let me state that, the certificates are actually the workshop certificate, the optional one, actually is available for those who have completed at least course 1. So if you have not completed any of the course, we don't want to issue a certificate. That is the instruction we have. The workshop certificate cannot be issued, to such individuals. So please kindly ensure you share a proof of the fact that you have completed and you have the certificate for course 1 and perhaps course 2. But the minimum is course 1, completion of course 1 and having the certificate. So when you share that and you make the necessary payments, you interact with the admin, our community engagement manager, your certificate will be provided to you, and then we of course require that you come to share on the group page that you have actually gotten your certificate to acknowledge that. That's one. In addition, please let me state that we're deeply sorry that we could not provide the video recording of the opening live session. Okay, so I wouldn't know what happened. Up till now, we didn't get it delivered to our drive by Google. All right, so we hope that does not repeat itself for this closing live section. And so we'll be sharing the one for today on the group pages as soon as we have it. Howbeit, for the opening live session, we are currently considering sharing a similar opening live session for the last edition we had back in, I think December. All right. So essentially, all the things that were taught in the opening live session by the speaker then was also, it's also in that video. So I think we'll eventually share that with us so that we can use that as reference point. So we are sorry once again for not being able to share the video for that section. Hopefully we do not have the issues we had this time around. I can still see the recording button live here. I hope there is no issues with getting it delivered from Google and then we're able to process and share it with everyone. I think that will be all from my end. I can see Mera is raising up his hand, but I think I want to hand over to Dr. Ayanfe so that you can just close the session after now. Thank you.
Yeah, so we can always come back to the courses. You can also always reach out to the admins, and we actually are glad to have us all here. Before we leave, I would love us all to take a selfie. So that actually involves you on in your camera and looking at the screen, and I'm going to take a selfie. So if you're there, if you can actually hear me, I would love you to just on your camera for just one minute. 1 minute. And please just turn on your camera. For 1 minute. Let us take a selfie. Please, Daniel, can you be muted? All right. So I believe that most of us has turned on our camera. Turned on our camera. Yeah. All right. So I'm going to be taking a screenshot now, and I will be sharing it with us on the group. So thank you so much, everyone that has actually joined us for this session. We appreciate you. Metagenomics is coming up next, and we are very open to help your project to be a reality, especially when you want to take a molecular angle to your project. So feel free to reach out to us, and even if you're not an African or you're not in Africa, the truth is that our discount, if you're going to come through Africa, will cover you. So we will always provide everyone the access to know-how. So thank you so much, everybody. Bioinformatics training will be coming up very, very soon. That's the next workshop. But before then, we're going to have a webinar series that will involve you to sit with your computer, and we will be able to do some hands-on together. Please look very carefully at very, very often also at the chat group, because some instructions will be coming up so that we can prepare in advance for the next live section. It's going to be a hands-on section where you will have to engage Google Colab. So if you're able to go back and read about Google Colab, it will be so good, and we will do a little Python together. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a great evening. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, let's not forget our surveys, our feedback survey is part of the requirement for issuing the certificate. Please, we want the survey.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Have a great evening, please.
Thank you all.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much. We appreciate your time, sir.
Yes, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. We really appreciate you.
Yes, Jafar. We should connect.
Thank you so
we should connect for
so
that.
much.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all.